The snow fell relentlessly outside the grand windows of the Harrington estate in upstate New York, but inside, the air crackled with unspoken tension. Scarlett Harrington, the iron-willed CEO of her family's pharmaceutical empire, stood frozen in the opulent foyer, her heart pounding as she watched Serenity, the daughter of her longtime housekeeper, unwrap a simple gift under the towering Christmas tree. In a moment of raw vulnerability, Scarlett leaned in and kissed Serenity deeply, the world around them shattering like fragile glass. But what followed was a cascade of revelations that would dismantle everything Scarlett held dear. Scarlett pulled back, her breath ragged, eyes wide with a mix of exhilaration and terror. What had she done? For years she buried these feelings, convincing herself they were a fleeting distraction, a product of loneliness after her husband's death 5 years ago. But Serenity's presence had become her anchor, her secret light in the shadows of boardrooms and family expectations. Serenity's eyes, dark and searching, locked onto hers, a silent question hanging between them. "Scarlett." Serenity whispered, her voice trembling, but before she could finish, the door burst open and Scarlett's mother, Evelyn, stormed in, her face a mask of fury. "How dare you?" Evelyn hissed, her voice slicing through the festive silence like a knife. Scarlett's mind raced. How had her mother known? The kiss had been impulsive, born from an evening of shared wine and confessions about dreams deferred. Serenity stepped back, her hands clutching the necklace Scarlett had given her, a symbol of the bond they'd nurtured in stolen moments. Evelyn's eyes darted between them, piecing together the puzzle. "She's the help's daughter, Scarlett. Have you lost your mind? This abomination will ruin us." Scarlett's thoughts swirled in turmoil. Abomination? The word stung, echoing the sermons from her conservative upbringing in a family where image was everything. She'd married young to appease them, built a life of polished perfection, but inside she'd always felt like an imposter. Serenity wasn't just the help's daughter. She was brilliant. An aspiring painter who'd put her dreams on hold to care for her ailing mother, Maria, who had cleaned the Harrington home for 2 decades. Scarlett had seen Serenity's fire, her quiet strength, and it had ignited something in her she couldn't extinguish. But now, facing Evelyn's wrath, doubt crept in. Was this love, or a selfish escape from her grief? Serenity's voice broke through Scarlett's inner storm. "Mrs. Harrington, please. It's not what you think." But Evelyn laughed bitterly. "Oh, it's exactly what I think. I've seen the way you look at her, Serenity. And you, Scarlett, after all we've sacrificed for this family? Your father would be ashamed." Scarlett's chest tightened. Her father, the patriarch who'd built the empire, had drilled into her the importance of legacy, of marrying right, of upholding traditions. Coming out now at 35 with the board watching her every move, could cost her everything. The CEO position, the family's respect, perhaps even her inheritance. As Evelyn demanded Serenity leave immediately, Scarlett's mind screamed in protest. No, she couldn't let this happen. But the fear was paralyzing. What if loving Serenity meant losing her identity, her power? Serenity glanced at her, eyes pleading for Scarlett to fight. But Scarlett hesitated, the weight of societal judgment pressing down. "Mother, let's talk about this privately," she said weakly, and in that moment, she saw the hurt flash across Serenity's face, a betrayal that cut deeper than any words. The night unraveled from there. Maria, Serenity's mother, was called in, her frail form trembling as Evelyn accused her of failing to raise her daughter properly. "You've been like family," Evelyn said coldly, "but this crosses a line." Maria's eyes filled with tears, defending Serenity fiercely. "My daughter is a good person. She doesn't deserve this." Scarlett watched, guilt gnawing at her. She'd promised Maria she'd look after Serenity, offering her odd jobs around the estate to help with medical bills. But now, her actions had jeopardized everything for them. Alone in her study later, Scarlett paced, her thoughts a whirlwind. Why had she kissed her? It was Christmas Eve, a time for joy, but she'd turned it into chaos. She replayed their moments. Late-night talks in the kitchen, Serenity's laughter easing Scarlett's burdens, the subtle touches that spoke volumes. It felt right, authentic. But society didn't see it that way. In their affluent circle, same-sex relationships were whispered scandals, threats to the conservative facade. Scarlett had attended galas where slurs were masked as jokes, where diversity was a buzzword but never truly embraced. Loving Serenity meant confronting that hypocrisy head-on. Serenity knocked softly on the door, slipping inside. "We need to talk." Her voice was steady, but Scarlett saw the vulnerability beneath. "What was that kiss, Scarlett?" "A mistake." Scarlett's heart ached. "No, yes. I don't know. I care about you more than I should." Serenity stepped closer. "More than you should? Because of what people think? Or because you're scared?" The accusation hit home. Scarlett was terrified of rejection, of failure, of being seen as weak. But as Serenity's hand brushed hers, the spark reignited, challenging her to choose. Their conversation stretched into the early hours, layers peeling back. Serenity shared her own struggles. Growing up poor in an immigrant family, hiding her sexuality from a devout Catholic mother who prayed for her salvation. "I've loved women before," Serenity admitted, "but never like this. Never someone who could change everything." Scarlett confessed her arranged marriage, the emptiness that followed her husband's accident. "He was kind, but it wasn't love. Not like this." Yet doubt lingered. If they pursued this, Maria could lose her job, Serenity her stability. And Scarlett? The board might oust her, citing moral concerns. Scarlett's decision haunted her through the following days, the estate feeling like a gilded cage. She avoided Serenity, burying herself in work emails and conference calls, but every quiet moment brought flashbacks of that kiss, the warmth contrasting the cold judgment in her mother's eyes. Was it worth it? The question looped endlessly in her thoughts, a tormenting echo of her inner conflict. Evelyn wasted no time enforcing her threat. At a family brunch 2 days after Christmas, she cornered Scarlett in the sunroom. "I've spoken to your brother, Victor. He agrees this can't continue. Think of the company, Scarlett. Shareholders don't want distractions." Victor, her ambitious younger sibling, had always eyed her position. Scarlett's mind flashed to board meetings where subtle sexism already undermined her authority. Adding a scandal like this would be ammunition. "Mother, this is my life," she protested inwardly, but aloud she murmured compliance, hating her cowardice. Serenity, meanwhile, grappled with her own demons. Returning to their modest apartment in the city, she confided in Maria, omitting the kiss but hinting at tensions. "Scarlett's family. They're complicated." Maria, weakened by chemotherapy, squeezed her hand. "Mija, you've always been too kind. But remember, we don't belong in their world." Serenity's heart twisted. She'd fallen for Scarlett gradually. Through shared books, debates on art versus commerce, Scarlett's rare vulnerability. But now the class divide loomed larger. A societal barrier reinforced by Evelyn's disdain. Was loving Scarlett a betrayal of her roots, or a chance at something real? The confrontation came unexpectedly. Serenity arrived at the estate to collect her mother's forgotten medication, only to find Scarlett in the garden, staring blankly at the frozen fountain. "We can't ignore this," Serenity said, her voice firm. Scarlett turned, eyes shadowed. "What do you want me to say? That I'm ready to blow up my life for you?" The words escaped harshly, but inside, Scarlett screamed for understanding. Serenity's face hardened. Maybe that's exactly what love requires, sacrifice. They argued in hushed tones, unpacking years of unspoken resentments. Scarlett admitted her fear of losing control, of being labeled the lesbian CEO in tabloids. Serenity countered with her own pain. "I've hidden who I am for so long, afraid of hurting Mom. But with you I thought it was different." As they delved deeper, moral quandaries surfaced. Was it ethical for Scarlett, in a position of power, to pursue someone economically dependent on her family? Serenity bristled at the implication. "I'm not your charity case. I have my own dreams." Yet, Scarlett worried about the optics, the potential for accusations of exploitation. Society's lens twisted everything. 2 women in love became a power imbalance, a scandal waiting to erupt. Victor's arrival escalated the drama. He pulled Scarlett aside, his smile predatory. "Mother told me. This could tank our stock if it leaks. Let me handle the PR. Step down gracefully." Scarlett's blood boiled. Was this betrayal? Victor had always been the golden boy, shielded from expectations she'd shouldered. In her mind she replayed childhood memories. Father praising Victor's potential while critiquing her every move. Coming out now felt like handing him the keys to the kingdom. "I won't," she snapped, but doubt festered. What if protecting her love meant destroying her legacy? Serenity, overhearing fragments, felt the sting of exclusion. Back home she paced, thoughts turbulent. Should she walk away to spare Scarlett the pain? Or fight for what felt destined? Her past relationships had ended in heartbreak. Women who chose closets over authenticity. Scarlett seemed different, but hesitation bred resentment. If she can't stand up for us, what's the point? She whispered to herself. The turning point came at a New Year's Eve gala, where the Harringtons hosted elite guests. Scarlett, dressed impeccably, mingled with forced smiles, her mind on Serenity. Evelyn introduced her to eligible bachelors, subtle pressure mounting. Time to move on from widowhood, she murmured. Scarlett's inner voice rebelled. Move on to what? A facade? Spotting Serenity across the room, invited as Maria's +1, she felt a pull. They stole away to a balcony, the city lights below indifferent to their turmoil. I can't do this halfway, Serenity said, eyes fierce. Either we're in or we're not. Scarlett's heart raced. The choice loomed. Conform to family and society, or embrace the unknown. I'm scared, she admitted, of losing everything. Serenity softened. But what if you gain more? Their hands intertwined, a silent vow amid the fireworks. But as they returned, Victor cornered Serenity, his words venomous. Stay away from my sister. You're not worth the trouble. Serenity's resolve cracked. Driving home, tears blurred her vision. Victor's threat echoed societal prejudices she'd fought her whole life. Being seen as lesser because of her orientation, her class. Maria noticed her distress. What's really going on? Under pressure, Serenity confessed partially. I care for Scarlett, Mom. More than friends. Maria's face paled, crossing herself. Dios mío, that's a sin. Think of your soul. The rejection hit like a blow. Serenity's mind spiraled. Was her love immoral, defying faith and family? Yet, denying it felt like self-betrayal. Scarlett, learning of Victor's interference, confronted him. You had no right. He smirked. I'm protecting the family. Unlike you. The siblings' clash unearthed old wounds. Victor's jealousy, Scarlett's resentment. In her solitude, Scarlett pondered the cost. Alienate her family for love, or suppress her truth. The drama intensified, choices sharpening like blades. The new year dawned with revelations that deepened the fractures. Scarlett, unable to sleep, scrolled through old photos, her wedding day a mask of happiness. Recent candid shots with Serenity, genuine joy shining through. The contrast fueled her inner debate. Was authenticity worth the fallout? Society's expectations weighed heavily. Whispers of family values, in conservative circles mocking her desires. Serenity faced her own reckoning. Maria's disapproval lingered. Prayers for her guidance, a constant reminder of cultural clashes. I raised you better, Maria said over breakfast, her voice frail but firm. Serenity's thoughts churned. Better than what? Loving honestly? She'd hidden her first crush in high school, fearing deportation threats to her undocumented relatives. Now at 28, she yearned for freedom, but Maria's health tethered her. I won't abandon you, Mom, she promised inwardly, but the conflict tore at her. A leaked rumor accelerated the crisis. An anonymous tip to a gossip blog hinted at turmoil in the Harrington dynasty, speculating on Scarlett's unconventional affections. Panic ensued. Evelyn called a family meeting, accusing Serenity of sabotage. That girl is trouble. Scarlett defended her fiercely. It's not her fault. It's mine. Admitting her feelings aloud was liberating yet terrifying. Victor seized the moment. See? This is why you can't lead. Too emotional. The board murmured agreement in an emergency call, pressuring Scarlett to address the distractions. Serenity, reading the blog, felt exposed. Who had leaked it? Suspicion fell on Victor, but proof was elusive. She confronted Scarlett via text. We need to decide. Meeting in a neutral cafe, away from prying eyes, they dissected the damage. This could ruin my career, Scarlett said, voice breaking. Serenity nodded. And my privacy. But hiding feels worse. Their dialogue unearthed ethical dilemmas. Was public denial a betrayal of the LGBTQ community, or a necessary shield? Scarlett recalled friends who'd come out, facing backlash. others who stayed closeted, living half-lives. As tensions mounted, Maria collapsed, rushing to the hospital. Serenity blamed the stress, guilt consuming her. If I hadn't pursued this. Scarlett arrived, offering support, but Maria's cold stare spoke volumes. You're the cause, she whispered. Scarlett's mind reeled. Was she? Her presence had upended their lives. Yet, holding Serenity's hand in the waiting room, solidarity strengthened her. Doctors stabilized Maria, but the incident forced choices. Serenity decided, I can't lose you both. Maybe we pause this. Scarlett refused. Pausing is giving in. Driving Serenity home, she proposed a plan. Come clean to the board, frame it as personal growth. But doubt assailed her. What if it backfired? Society's double standards loomed. Men in power weathered scandals, women were crucified. Her widow status added layers. Was she confused or desperate? Victor's betrayal deepened. He met secretly with board members, positioning himself as the stable alternative. Scarlett discovered emails, her fury boiling. How could you? She confronted him at home. Family first? This is ambition. Victor's defense. You're the one destroying us with your choices. The argument escalated, unearthing sibling rivalries. Scarlett realized. Her love threatened his ascent, exposing the family's hypocritical core. Serenity, meanwhile, sought solace in her art, painting abstracts of turmoil. A gallery owner offered a show, but she hesitated. Exposure meant scrutiny. If I'm out, it affects everything, she thought. Friends advised caution. Society isn't kind to women like us. Yet, inspiration from Scarlett pushed her forward. The climax built at a press conference. Scarlett called to quash rumors. Standing before cameras, heart pounding, she pondered her speech. Deny or declare? Evelyn pleaded. Think of our name. But as flashes blinded her, Scarlett's resolve crystallized. My personal life is private, she began, but inside rebellion stirred. Spotting Serenity in the crowd disguised gave her strength. Post-conference, they escaped to Scarlett's cabin upstate. Their vulnerabilities poured out. Scarlett admitted, I married for approval, not love. Now I want real. Serenity shared, I feared rejection, but with you I'm whole. Their bond deepened without physicality, focused on emotional intimacy. But reality intruded, a board vote loomed. Maria's recovery brought confrontation. Visiting, Scarlett apologized. I never meant harm. Maria softened slightly. Love is love, but society. The partial acceptance sparked hope, but warned of battles ahead. Victor's machinations peaked. He leaked more photos of Scarlett and Serenity together. Outrage ensued, stocks dipping. Scarlett's mind fractured. Fight or flee? She chose fight, rallying allies. But the cost mounted. Friends distanced, family divided. Serenity stood by, her own sacrifices evident, turning down the gallery to avoid spotlight. As the board convened, Scarlett prepared her defense. Thoughts a storm of defiance and fear. The drama's web tightened, each thread a choice with irreversible consequences. The boardroom in downtown Manhattan buzzed with tension, suits and stern faces judging Scarlett's every word. She stood at the head, projecting confidence, but inwardly turmoil raged. This is about leadership, not my private life, she argued, but whispers of instability echoed. Victor sat smugly, his betrayal a knife in her back. As votes tallied, Scarlett's mind flashed to Serenity, her rock amid the chaos. The outcome? A narrow retention, but with caveats, public discretion mandatory. Relief mixed with resentment. They own me, she thought bitterly. Society's grip felt suffocating, dictating love's boundaries. Driving home, she called Serenity. We won. Sort of. But Serenity's voice carried strain. At what cost? Mom's worried sick. Maria's health had stabilized, but emotional scars lingered. Serenity wrestled with guilt. Pursuing love meant defying filial duty, a moral quagmire in her culture. A family dinner turned explosive. Evelyn hosted, hoping reconciliation, but accusations flew. You've shamed us, she told Scarlett. Victor added fuel. The company's suffering because of your selfishness. Scarlett snapped. Selfishness? I've given everything to this family. The outburst unearthed buried truths, her suppressed identity, the pressure to conform. Evelyn's tears revealed her own regrets. A life of unfulfilled dreams, married for status. I wanted better for you, she admitted, cracking the facade. Serenity, invited reluctantly, witnessed the unraveling. Her presence ignited sparks. She's part of this now, Scarlett declared. Evelyn's gaze softened, but Victor stormed out, vowing revenge. Serenity's thoughts swirled. Was she the catalyst for destruction or change? Later, alone with Scarlett, she voiced fears. What if we're wrong? Society says. Scarlett silenced her with conviction. Society evolves. We can lead that. But evolution demanded sacrifices. Serenity's gallery offer resurfaced, but with conditions: keep personal life low-key. She accepted, a step toward independence, but it meant distance from Scarlett during promo. I'll miss you, Serenity thought, the separation a test of commitment. Victor's retaliation struck hard. He fed stories to media, painting Scarlett as unfit, Serenity as opportunist. Headlines screamed, "Heiress's scandalous affair threatens empire." Public backlash poured in. Hate mail, protests outside offices. Scarlett's inner voice wavered. Was love worth this vilification? LGBTQ advocates rallied, but conservative shareholders pulled investments. The moral debate intensified. Private choices versus public roles. Serenity faced her own storm. At an art event, reporters hounded her. Is it true about you and Harrington? Panic surged. No comment, she muttered, but inside anger brewed. Why her burden? Class prejudices amplified the scrutiny. She was the outsider corrupting elite. Maria, seeing the news, pleaded. End it, Mija. For your safety. The plea tore Serenity. Loyalty to mother versus self. Confronting Victor privately, Scarlett demanded, why? His response. You always got everything. Now it's my turn. The sibling rift deepened, a betrayal rooted in envy. Scarlett realized. Family wasn't blood, it was choice. Healing began tentatively. Evelyn, influenced by therapy sessions Scarlett insisted on, questioned her biases. I was raised differently, she confessed. A breakthrough. Attending a support group for parents of LGBTQ children. Change was slow but seeds planted. Serenity and Scarlett stole moments, rebuilding trust. A weekend getaway allowed reflection. We've paid dearly, Scarlett said. Serenity agreed. But it's forged us stronger. Yet, doubts persisted. Had their choices been right or reckless? The drama crested with a corporate coup attempt. Victor allied with dissenters, forcing a revote. Scarlett campaigned tirelessly, her passion fueled by love. This isn't just business, it's my life, she thought. Allies emerged, board members with hidden stories, inspired by her courage. Serenity supported from afar, her exhibition a success despite controversy. Reviews praised her authenticity, mirroring her journey. But a heckler's slur reminded her of societal venom. As the vote approached, tensions peaked. Scarlett pondered the price. Strained family, tarnished reputation, but gained freedom. Serenity echoed, growth through pain. The resolution came dramatically. In the boardroom, Scarlett laid bare her truth. I love a woman. It doesn't diminish my capabilities. Silence, then applause from some. Victor's plan faltered. He resigned in defeat. Victory was bittersweet. Evelyn apologized tearfully. I'm trying. Maria, witnessing Scarlett's devotion during a visit, softened. If she makes you happy. But scars remained. Society's judgment lingered, a constant battle. Scarlett and Serenity emerged resilient, their bond a testament to endurance. In the aftermath, Scarlett and Serenity navigated a new normal. The estate no longer a prison but a sanctuary. Scarlett delegated more at work, focusing on inclusive policies, LGBTQ initiatives that reshaped the company's culture. Yet, internally, she questioned, had the turmoil been necessary or avoidable? Society's slow acceptance felt like a Pyrrhic victory. Serenity's art flourished, her pieces exploring identity and love, drawing from their saga. Galleries buzzed with her work, but personal costs weighed. Maria's tentative approval came with conditions. No public displays. Serenity complied outwardly but inwardly rebelled. Was conditional love truly love? Family dynamics shifted uneasily. Evelyn hosted dinners, Awkward attempts at normalcy. Victor, exiled to a subsidiary, sent olive branches, but trust was shattered. Scarlett forgave cautiously. Betrayal changes everything. Her thoughts often return to moral gray areas. Was ambition evil or survival? Public perception evolved sporadically. A profile piece lauded Scarlett as a trailblazer, but trolls persisted online. Serenity faced similar admirers and detractors. We're symbols now, she thought wryly. The pressure to represent perfectly chafed, highlighting societal expectations on marginalized relationships. Intimate moments fortified them. Evenings spent debating ethics. Did we choose right? Scarlett pondered. Serenity countered. Choice implies options. Love demanded this. Their dialogues deepened understanding, but unearthed lingering pains. Scarlett's grief over lost family harmony, Serenity's over cultural disconnect. A pivotal event. Pride Month. Scarlett invited to speak at a corporate event. Hesitant, she accepted, her speech raw. Love shouldn't cost your soul. Applause thundered, but backstage anxiety gripped. What if it's never enough? Serenity reassured. It's enough for us. Maria's health scare recurred, bonding them further. Scarlett funded treatments, earning grudging respect. You're good for her, Maria admitted. The concession healed fractures but underscored sacrifices. Serenity's deferred dreams for caregiving. As summer waned, reflections intensified. Scarlett journaled. The price was high, betrayals, judgments, but the reward immeasurable. Serenity echoed in her sketches. Figures emerging from shadows, symbolizing awakening. Yet doubts crept. Society's progress felt fragile. Backlash could reverse gains. Victor's return loomed, a potential threat. Evelyn's support wavered under peer pressure. Their relationship tested by distance, Scarlett's travels, Serenity's tours. Phone calls bridged gaps, but loneliness amplified inner conflicts. Was independence strengthening or eroding? A reunion solidified resolve. In a quiet park, they reaffirmed, through it all us. But reality intruded. A lawsuit from Victor, alleging mismanagement. Scarlett fought back, her tenacity born from love's forge. The saga's echoes persisted, a tapestry of drama, choice, and consequence. Each character paid dearly. Scarlett her illusions of control, Serenity her innocence, Evelyn her prejudices, Victor his entitlement, Maria her certainties. In quiet moments, Scarlett wondered, had love justified the wreckage? Serenity pondered, was authenticity always triumphant? As they faced future uncertainties, their bond endured, a beacon amid storms. But the question lingered, sparking endless debate. In the pursuit of true love against societal odds, is the inevitable pain a fair trade, or an unforgivable toll? Was Scarlett's choice to embrace her love for Serenity ultimately right, or did it cause more harm than good?